Hi folks, I'm Dan Russell, and what you just heard was the sound of a stock FJ Cruiser horn. My FJ Cruiser in specific is 2007, but I don't think they've changed the horn at all over the model years, at least up to 2013. So what we're going to do is upgrade the horn, and what we have here is the Hella Supertone, and as you can see, power in emphasis there. I'm hoping this will be a significant upgrade over what we had before. So these are the horns itself. We have two separate tones here. As you can see here, this one's a 500 hertz. This one is a 300 hertz. So they're going to blend together and make a nice, hopefully loud sound that will get people's attention in traffic. So the first thing I did was grab the instruction manual and dug through here to identify what steps would be taken to replace the horn here. And after reading through, so the existing horn is replaced by Supertone horns under number 2 there. And I tested the horn to make sure that it was a positive connection. So the option we're going to do is 2B, which I've circled here. So that's schematic that we'll be following. I'll post this schematic up online so it's easier to read. So we've got a few wire connectors here, butt splices, other wires here. This is the negative wire that we're going to use. Here's the positive wire, 12mm wrench, 10mm socket which we're going to use to disconnect the battery, our wire snippers, and we've also got our 14 to 16 gauge female terminal connectors, and these guys go right onto the back of these connectors here. So let's get to it. So there's two pieces I forgot to mention. The first one here is the fuse holder, then that's going to be connected to the battery terminal directly, and then to this relay, which is included in the Hella Supertone horn kit. And these connections on the bottom relate to the schematic numbers on the bottom here. So you can see there's some really small numbers there, like 85, 30, 87, 86. Those correspond to the numbers on the bottom of this. So on this battery fuse holder, it's important that we leave this fuse holder empty, so we don't want to have an accidental short or anything like that while we're doing the wiring. So I'm going to leave that empty so that we can go ahead and connect this up to the battery. So anytime you're working on the electrical system of the car, you definitely want to disconnect that negative battery cable first. And what that does, it prevents you from getting shock if you accidentally touch a positive connection on one of the red wires to anywhere on the frame. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So the existing horn is located right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that with my 12mm wrench. And make sure that you don't drop this bolt in these two washers here, because you're going to be reusing them with one of the Hella Supertone horns. So here's the existing connection. So the way this works is this is a positive line down here on this clip, and it completes the circuit by grounding it based on the installation arm here. So there's a little clip here to remove this lead. I push that in and just pull back. There we go. That's the existing connector, and here's the stock horn that we were removing and replacing. So one thing I want to make clear is that this positive lead here that went to the stock horn is actually now going to be going to our 0.86 on this relay. So that's this connector right here. So most people will be installing this relay back somewhere in the compartment there because you don't want it to be splashed since it's got these electrical connectors on it. So we're actually going to have to route the wire back towards the battery and past it to get a good install point for our relay. And then we're going to run another 2 leads up here to the 2 new Hella Supertone horns. Normally I would use red wire to do this connection, but unfortunately Lowe's was all out of red wire, so I'm using green. Now we have our green lead, which is going to go to number 86 on this relay here. So what I'm going to do is run this back past the battery up to a good spot where we can install our relay. Alright, so what I've done now is I've connected the old horn line to this green wire here, and I've decided I'm going to put the actual relay mounted up here. So I checked by closing this and it won't interfere with it. So I'm going to put it down like that right there. So for now I'm going to leave it right there and go ahead and connect this female terminal connector, and that's going to go on to point 86, which is this one right here. So once that wire is spliced in, it should go nicely on there. That's a good solid connection there. Alright, so what I've done now is I've got the 2 lines connected to the relay here. One is from the old horn positive line. The other one is a new line that is going to feed power to the new Hella Supertones. And now I'm going to connect another line here with the fuse relay holder to another green line. That's going to go to the remaining ports on this, so I'll go ahead and connect that. And as you can note, I do not have a fuse in here, and the negative battery terminal is disconnected, so I don't have any risk of heating anything up, burning anything out. So there were too many things connected to this post, so what I'm going to do is put it on here. It looks like it's probably a 10 millimeter. Okay, so what I've done here is, you can see on the relay, everything has been taped up here and covered with this nice plastic covering. and that runs all the way back through up to the hole that goes in front of the radiator. I'll show you what that looks like. That runs up under here, and then it leaves a line open for our fuse connector to the battery itself. And now what we're going to do is hook the horns up. Okay folks, so now we've completed the install of the Hella Supertones. So you can see them there through the grill, the red circles there. The wires are running up underneath here, coming out here. So we have the two leads here. One of those is from the old horn, and one is going out to feed the two new horns. Here's the fuse line, and this is wrapped up and goes all the way back down to this relay right here. Now on the bottom of that relay is the 4 connections. One of them is the ground, one is the positive line from the battery, one is the horn switch from the old horn, and then the last one is the one that actually goes out to feed the two new horns. Hey, so it's me again. So one day later we discovered that after the Hella Supertone install that in fact the left horn here wasn't working. And it turns out that we didn't have a good ground because this is all painted metal. So what we did to remedy that was ran a ground line from the second plug on that left horn over to this bolt here. Now this bolt is a threaded bolt into the frame here, and so that means it's a grounded bolt. So both grounds for both horns are attached right here. And for bonus points, there's multiple tabs on the Hella Supertone hanger, so we isolated the grounds from each other right there. And so now go ahead and hit it. That horn sounds a hell of a lot better. when it's working right. Thanks, guys.